Hello and welcome to yet another yapping with me, Fellonius the Wizard. Today we're going to talk about some famous numbers. Now there is so many famous numbers and many of them are connected to the mathematical things like pi. And then for those of you who don't know what pi is, that's 3.14 and it is famous, but it's not interesting, not at all. I mean, I'll rather keep my Pythagoras thingy. A plus B plus equals C squared. So, we are having an episode, and that episode's number is 313. This is my 313th episode of this series. And 313 is a very, very famous and important number. Can you guess which it is? But I'll continue. Next one I feel is more important even. That's 42. 42 is the answer to the question of life, universe and everything by Douglas Adams. Now they did have a bit of a problem because when they found out that the answer was 42, they realized that they haven't made the question correct. So they have to go back and start over again and try to make the question about everything, life, universe and everything. Well, that's okay. However, 42 for me has been a very important number because my life, the year I turned 42, had three major things happening to me. First of all, I got kicked out of my relation. I deserved that, so no big deal, but it was a really life-changing stuff. Suddenly I realized that I'm going to live alone. That is not what I had intended to do, but on the other hand, because I didn't intend to do anything, I was kicked out. So it went as it should. The problem mostly was that I had a 4.5-year-old son, and I did not want him to be having a problem with this. So we tried and we fixed it, so it wasn't that bad. However, during the summer and then back to the fall, I went and checked if I carried the wrong DNA for that illness, Huntington chorea, my mother had, because there was things that said that I probably didn't have it. I probably didn't need to go around being sad all my life because I'm going to die in Huntington chorea, because it feels like I shouldn't be able to die in Huntington chorea. I fixed that, and yes, 99.99% chance of not having that illness, and that was the 20th of October 1999. So we're on fixing 99 in here. So suddenly I had a new life. I had a new birthday, as I call it, 20th of October, and I also had a new life suddenly. I could do whatever I wanted, and I was 42 years old. 42, yeah. Last thing that happened that year was that I moved away from the place that I've been 8 years, and everything went bad during these more or less 28 years. So moving away, starting anew, starting everything anew should be a good thing. Now it took me, well, I should probably say that it still takes me a lot of time to get everything correct 25 years later, but still that was what happened when I was 42. So 42 is a very important number for me. It's not famous for what I did. Next up is a very easy one, 007. It's of course James Bond's allocated killing license number, 007. And if you're trying to do some sort of number plates on his cars and stuff, you're going to be very disappointed. Two other numbers that is important years is 1939 and 1945, which was the start and end respectively for the Second World War, the last war we have had. The new one, we don't know when it starts, but I guess it's about 2030. But still, we will see. And then there is one thing that I hope every child in this world will know. There is always an emergency number that you should tell your kids, whatever it is in your life. But since we are usually the Western guys, we say 911, 911, or in Sweden it's actually 112. This is a very, very important number. It's not famous, but it's very, very important. Well, 911 is famous, right? You're in every movie from America. So, yeah. Next, it's a tough one. 6597. If you can get that one, it's a number plate. It starts with TP dash. And then it's 6597. I'm not going to let you have more time to think. It's of course the Batmobile from 1966, the one and only. And according to others, there's another number plate that is pretty famous, ST1, that stands for Simon Templar, or the Saint as we call it. Roger Moore was the one that started it, and there's some other ones. And then we have 1999. That can be a number of different things. It was before Y2K, you know, when everything was going to go totally balloon. We had viruses in our computers or what it is. And then we have a Prince song that is actually called 1999. I like that song. It's famous. I say it's famous. And then we have Space 1999 by Gary Anderson. I like that first season. So, and now back to question number 1, 313. Here comes the picture. Yes, it's the Donald Duck's car, of course. He has this very strange 1934 car, and it always have 313. In the new cars he uses, he never had 313, but this is classic. This is classic. Do we have more famous numbers? Please enter them in the comments. I'll be back next Sunday. Thank you for listening. Bye.